What's up, YouTube? Today I got some online racing for you in Forza Horizon 4, kicking it off in the Hummer H1 in S1 class with the V12 swap here, all blacked out. We got the Men in Black edition, so you may just forget everything you witnessed after this video. So starting off down near the back of the pack as we drift around a corner there and ghost through someone. So currently up behind a Chevelle. Looks like the Barrett Jackson edition. As we round the corner, he's going to go for the inside line, and he's just going to try and not so aggressively ram me off. So I'm not quite sure what he's up to there. But we're going to see if we can make a move on the next corner. Capitalize on a couple mistakes here, but just going to go a little bit deep. Just going to get past the Chevelle and move up into 5th place. Around the next corner, going to try and take advantage of the handling on this vehicle. Not quite going to make anything happen here as we move up behind the Ford RS 200. And we're going to go off the jump, and we're just going to mount the Ford. So we're going to have a mixed baby between a Hummer H1 and a Ford RS 200 as we move up into 4th place, coming up the hill. Yes, we are going to take that position. So almost on the podium here as we reach 70% completion. Going to slide around a little bit, hard on the brakes as we enter the little stunt park here. Going to go through another Ford RS 200. So onto the podium as we speak with the Charger in front of us here. Just going to manage to get that checkpoint. Cutting it a little bit close there. And first place is going to go off somewhere. Not quite sure where he's going. I guess he wants to play around in the stunt park a little bit, but that's fine. We're going to continue the race here. Just going to attempt to get in first place here on the outside. Just going to make it cleanly. So relying on the handling on this vehicle now, not quite so good on the pavement as we got the Charger hot on our tail. I'm going to slide a little bit wide as we lose a bit of grip, and the Charger's going to take first place. But that's okay, you're going to forget this race anyways. Just like it never happened. I should reintroduce myself as we speak. But no, we're just going to get right into it here with the peel. The almighty peel, the 3-wheeler peeler. So the game is definitely trying to give me a helping hand by starting me off in first place. And as you can see, this thing just accelerates like bonkers. So we are definitely pulling away from the pack on the straightaways, and as you can tell, suffering around the corners. Look on the map, the acceleration on this thing is just insane. But you really have to go super slow on the corners. From trying multiple times to get good footage with this vehicle. Basically, if you give it any gas around the corners, you're going to fly away and you're going to end up in a ditch. So around the corners, you need to be on the brakes, and you definitely just need to let it coast. And then the straightaways is where you need to take advantage of the speed of this thing. So as you can see, still maintaining first place here. Very slow and very steady around the corners. But then just look at that. Just putting down all the power and running away from 2nd place here as we reach 55% completion. And you also need to watch out for the curbs on this thing. You touch a curb with one tire and your race might be over. So almost going to lose it back there. And 2nd place is going to catch back up. But look at that. We're just going to give it some gas, and we are gone once again. So as you can see, taking first place on that one. So going to move on to the next one. Still in the peel. Starting now near the back of the pack here, beside a Porsche. And as you can see, just going to fly up through everybody all the way up into 3rd place. So on the podium in about 2.7 seconds, give or take. Going to be very cautious around this corner. Going to give it some gas, and once again, we are gone. So really not too much else to say about this car. It is basically point and shoot, and anything else you gotta be super careful. Gotta be super careful around the corners, super careful around the curbs. So basically, with that being said, this thing is pretty much the best car in the game. Feel free to debate me if you'd like in the comments, but I'm pretty confident giving the car this label. So easily going to take the win there in the Peel once again, but I guess you saw that coming already because, as we all know, the Peel's the best car in the game. So enough of that OP nonsense. We're going to move on to something a little bit more realistic. The Mitsubishi Evo. Going to be starting down at the bottom of the pack. Just going to get passed by a Jaguar. As we come up to the first corner here, going to go onto the snow. Up behind an Alfa Romeo TZ22, pretty sweaty car. So we're going to see if this Evo has what it takes to move up the pack. These Evos, I never see them doing very well, to be honest, so I wanted to give it a shot. It just seems that they're very slow and sluggish, especially in A-Class. And the more power you give them, the more their handling just suffers. So I figured I would give it a shot and see what I can do with this thing. So Cyclone going off. I'm just going to pull up next to him here. And he's going to go for the inside line, but he's going to go off wide once again. So I'm going to be up the inside myself. And I'm going to take 2 positions from that. Just going to pass our sweaty friend in the Alfa Romeo. And we're going to chase down the Ford Roadster in first place. Also another sweaty vehicle. So this thing actually has some pretty good handling, and the speed is decent. And it seems like he doesn't want to give up the position. Just going to try and put me in the fence. And he's going to retake his position. That thing definitely has the acceleration over this thing. And I'm going to go on the inside, going to avoid the traffic car, and just keep the battle going here as we move into the difficult section. Going downhill. Just going to go on the outside, going to go around him there, and going to try and keep a defensive line going to the next corner, but just going to brake a little bit too late and go off a little bit wide. Going to see if we can hold him off here. And that's going to be it for that one, so going to get the win. So decent battle with the Ford Roadster. I'm actually surprised the Evo did as well as it did. So on to the next race. We are in an Alfa Romeo Fulvia or something like that, a weird name. Front wheel drive vehicle, so just loaded with power and not so much on the handling side of things. So going to see what we can do in this vehicle here. I love driving these front wheel drive cars, just something a little bit different. Takes a little bit more finesse to put down the power in these things, because as you may have experienced before in front wheel drive cars, the wheels pretty much just spin, and you have to be very careful with it, especially on corners as well. But once you get the hang of them, they are actually pretty good cars. So in second place here behind the 350, I believe that one is. And I'm going to try and go up the inside, and he's just going to have the acceleration on me. Most likely has all-wheel drive. But coming up to a straightaway here, so we're going to see if we can put all this extra power down. Look how easily we reach 150. And just going to floor it here and just fly right by him, almost making contact, but just barely going to keep it clean. And going to have to slow down a little bit extra for these corners here. But as you can see, still accelerating up this hill like nothing. And that's going to be the win in the front wheel drive Alfa Romeo. So moving on to the next one. Starting off in fourth place. And as you can see, kind of a crappy launch on this thing. A lot of the front wheel drive cars have crappy launches, but once this thing gets going, you just catch right up to everyone. So around the first corner, going to make up a couple positions. Almost going to hit a traffic car as we are once again behind our 350Z buddy. So nice and steady through the corners. This thing handles pretty well. Going to really slow down. Just going to tap the 350 a little bit. Guys off wide in the Atomic Punk. So we're going to see if we can maneuver our way around these guys here. Definitely a good spot to put the power down if you have it. So they pull away a little bit because they most likely all have all-wheel drive. And then I'm just going to shoot right by them as I put the power down on this straightaway here. Mess up the gearing and still pull away from them. And the traffic car is just going to glitch out and put me sideways. So going to lose out the position to the 350 once again. Battling like we did in the last race. Going to go up the inside line. And this part of the track is going to be difficult because we have some weird, awkward corners. So pretty much unless you have a handling car, you're going to struggle with this section here. So just going to fall behind a little bit, but he's going to mess up that corner. And just going to fly by him here. Going to see if I can hold him off, but not making the defensive line there. Wasn't able to get enough grip. And he's going to bail off into the field. Sweaty move. And as a result, going to come in second place behind the 350. So moving on to the next race. Not even sure what this thing is. Never used it before. Just wanted to try something different. I figure this thing is just going to be a straight up handling car and it's just going to suck on the long straights. But we're going to give it a go anyways. So down in the lower part of the pack until we rounded that corner, moving up into fourth place behind a Huracan, a Porsche, I believe that's a GT3. And now we are on the podium behind the McLaren. So far, not doing too bad in this thing. I believe this thing started out as rear-wheel drive, and I did the all-wheel drive swap. And making my way around the corner nicely, just going to pass the McLaren. And going to see how this thing does on the straights. We got a couple long ones on this track here. So didn't really have to slow down for that corner, it turns out. And I'm going to see if that's going to make me suffer onto the straightaway here, because the McLaren definitely has the top end over the two of us. As you can see, he's just catching up, and now we're slowing down once again. Need to follow the braking line. Just gonna see if I can hold him off here. Around the corner, this thing actually understeers at speed, which is kind of weird for a car like this. So definitely having to slow down for the corners more than you would expect. And he's just going to push me wide and take the first place position. He's going to honk back at me. So just having a good old time there as he's going to take the win. So moving on to the next one here, we got a school bus in front of us. A tight little circuit, 3 laps. So moving up a couple positions off the line. If I lose to the school bus, I might as well just quit Forza and sell my Xbox. So going to gain a couple positions there. Going to come out of ghost mode right next to the school bus. He's going to send me a little bit wide. Just a little bit of natural contact there. And we're going to move up onto the podium here topside the McLaren and just going to go into the side of him here. Just kind of sloppy driving from myself. And school bus is right on my back bumper as we make the pass here. Let's see if we can hold it together around this corner behind the Huracan. Again, this thing just loves to understeer, so not really having such a great time around these corners. So just going to put the pressure on him as we move closer and closer. And just going to go through him there. Make that corner. And he's going to come back fighting for it. He's going to take back first place. Just going to go around the inside. Keep the speed on the exit there. Going to try and go in narrow and then exit out to the outside. So just going to mess up that corner. But looks like he's not close enough to make a move. And that's going to be the end of it. First place in this little go-kart looking thing. So on to the next one here. We got the Dodge Charger Hellcat. So rear-wheel drive. I could not bring myself to swap this thing into all-wheel drive. You got to keep that muscle car purism. Not really, but that's just what I wanted to do. So down near the bottom of the pack, just moving up into 6th place. So here we are behind a 350Z, kind of a common car for today's video, the 350Z and the 370Z. So moving up into 4th place, this is more of a speed car rather than a handling car. Although this thing still isn't that quick, surprisingly. It just feels like a big, heavy chungus. So here we are still in 4th place. We're going to see if we can take advantage of the straight coming up around this corner. And he's just going to go wide anyways and just go straight into the wall. So just going to move up into 3rd place. So on the podium behind 2 blue team members. And just going to see if we can reel him in here. And going to hold it together through the long corner as we catch up to these 2 guys here. Just going to pass on the outside, and he's not going to ram me. So making a clean pass there. And going to do quite well through there as we approach the Shelby Daytona. I'll be quite impressed with this car if we can pull off the win. Got some tricky corners coming up before the finish line as we approach 80% completion. He's right on my tail, guaranteed he's got all-wheel drive in that thing. And as you can see, this thing just does not like these slow corners. I'm going to try and keep it nice and narrow. And he's going to come alongside of me here. But we're just going to have the speed to take 2nd place. So just not going to cut it here against an all-wheel drive Shelby Daytona. Just not going to happen. So on to the next one here. We got a short circuit, another, the same one as before, the 3-lap circuit in the festival here. Kind of a fun race if you got the right car for it. I'm having some regrets about picking this car as I don't think it is the right car for this track. As you see all the all-wheel drive vehicles here, we got 2 Shelby Daytonas and they just clatter into each other there. As we move up onto the podium behind the 350 and an R33. Yeah, an R33 Skyline. Got a couple guys coming up to join the fight here. And Shelby goes into the wall. So just trying to hold it steady here and go easy on the throttle so we don't kick that back end out like that Skyline right there. So we're just going to move up past him. And around the next corner, he's going to go on the inside line. A little bit sloppy, but not too bad. As my teammate falls behind a little bit. And going to go up the inside and reclaim the position. So moving up into 2nd place. As we are about to begin the 3rd lap here. I believe that's is that a Nova in front of us? Can't really tell. I'm not quite good with the Chevys. So we're just going to be a little bit sloppy here. Going to go into the back of him. just going to keep the pressure on him here around the final corner, just hoping he messes it up. And he does mess it up. We're going to go up the inside, and he's just going to cut across me. Not going to be enough to grab the win. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. It helps the algorithm, which in turn helps the channel grow. If you liked it, please leave a like and leave a comment with your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.